What's good? Welcome to the First String Podcast with your boy Toothpick. Thank you for joining us. Everybody that jumps in the chat before we even get going live, man, we appreciate it. It shows us that y'all really care. It makes us want to give you a great show. Speaking of which, we got the one and only Professor Lou Holder on the show today. So we're going to bring him in. You know, we got all the guys. We got a great lineup for you of topics today. Today, we're going to talk about the Tampa Bay Lightning, showing the heart of a champion with their Game 3 win. We're going to talk about the Commanders' minicamp. Last week, we're going to find out what Lou saw while he was there. We're also going to get into Deshaun Watson just a little bit. Rob Gronkowski retired. And Adam dropped another great report on the Burgundy and Gold report. We're going to talk about an undrafted free agent that Coach Rivera has his eye on. So you know what time it is. Let's get it. Oh, what's good again? You know, First String Podcast is presented by Bet Rivers. Make sure you download that Bet Rivers app or go to www.betrivers.com. You must be 21 years or older to play. Let's bring this squad in here. What's good, Sid?
What's good? What's good? Go Dogs.
Hey, okay, you getting it in early.
Already, player.
Yeah.
We bringing them in.
All right. Let's bring him out, man, with some snatch and grab. You better not be parked in the red zone. The most passionate fan I know, Paulie. What's good?
Bro, how you got me coming on? You know I come on last, bro.
Paulie said, you got the order jacked up. Okay, I got you. Hey, we're going to bring in another guy down south somewhere in, well, who knows? Atmo, what's up, man?
How you going to bring me on before this dude,
I know what time it is, man.
Hey.
How you going to bring me on for this dude, man? You so disrespectful, bro.
Whooping the Commander since I was born.
Oh,
you're so disrespectful, man.
You know what? Wait, how about this? How about we just bring Atmo on at the last 15 minutes of next time? Hey, now the guy that everybody's here to see. Let's bring in the Professor Lou Holder. How are you, sir?
Hey guys, what's going on with you?
Where we are good. We are good. It's good to have you in the house.
That's how they used to yell for my man Lou Whitaker for the Yankees. Lou, you know about that, Lou?
Yeah.
They did that for me in college and high school, all my whole playing career.
Lou Whitaker, baby.
Sweet Lou Whitaker.
Sweet.
There you go.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to Bruce Glass, Marcel, Smoker Joker, Cal in the house. Of course, you know all these guys jumped in before we got on, and they're still here now. So let's get their comments up here real fast. There we go. Smoker Joker coming up here. Cal, say it. That's for you. He always say hello to you. And Bruce was the first one in the building today, and then Cal dropped one more for you. Said, there he goes. He had to get you with the 21-8. All right, listen, the Bruce. Oh man, we're gonna talk about this. The Avalanche just straight disrespected Tampa in Game 2 with a 7-0 victory. A two-time NHL champion got donut holed. Motorboat, boat raced, burnt, taken out back to the woodshed. But then Game 3 comes, and they show the heart of a champion. I caught the last half of this game. I was doing some family things and things like that, but I caught the last half, and I thought that they were done after that 7-0 whooping that they took. How did y'all feel? Were y'all surprised by this? Tell me what's going on. Let's start with the guests. Let's start with you, Lou.
Well, again, we said this when I was one of the Wednesdays I was on with Travis. We had a question on after the quarterback, what is the most important position in sports?
Right.
This is showing again that the most important position in sports after the quarterback in the NFL is a goalie.
Yes.
Because a goalie can ride you, or a goalie can actually embarrass you. And over the last 2 games, there's 13 goals that have been scored. There's been 13 goals scored in the last 2 games. The goaltender has been replaced. A hot goalie can ride you all the way to Stanley's Cup.
Yes.
That's my thoughts on it. I never thought for 1 minute that the Lightning were going to be done because the momentum in the playoffs is, that goalie. That goalie is going to be able to take you far. So I am a little surprised about how many goals have been scored. But again, I mean, the game has moved on so quickly. I think that what the Lightning did that they didn't do in the second game, and they didn't do it that much in the first game, the forecheck was better in that game.
Yes.
Their forechecking was a lot better, which forced turnovers, and they were able to capitalize on it. But I just think that this is, as you mentioned, this is the heart of a champion. I never thought that this was going to be a 4-0 route to Lord Stanley's Cup. I think this is going to show a lot more fireworks, but it all comes back to that goalie.
Well, I tell you what, I thought that game 2 was going to be Tampa's game because their goalie had been playing. He'd been getting better and better and better as they played. And I took Tampa game 1. I took Tampa game 2. And we didn't pick game 3, but I sure was hey, this is that one where the Avalanche just showed total dominance. And like I said, when I looked up, they showed the heart of a champion and came out and were more physical and replaced the goalie. And they're doing exactly what you said. And Bruce here says that Tampa won't die easy, but there won't be no 3-peat. He said he's still riding with the Avalanche. Y'all got any thoughts on Tampa?
Yeah, I would say that I was a little disappointed in Tampa, being that they were coming off the last win in the series. They were the more team that was already ready to play.
Yeah.
They were flowing pretty well, and then they come out and Colorado put a 3 on bam, whoa,
right.
They've been off for like a week,
right.
So it surprised me that they took as long. I can understand why they stayed with the goalie as long as they did, but it's just surprising. It was surprising to me that many goals were put up on that goalie after the last series. Them coming out being more physical is exactly what they needed. It was a jump start for them, So it's gonna be interesting to see if they can do the same thing because it was, game 3 was a must win.
Oh yes, and
well, I think the misconception that the team that is just coming off the quickest turnaround could have the advantage over the team that usually has the most rest. That actually worked in Colorado's favor at this time, but also just how quickly we could be swayed. Not necessarily thinking that it was going to be a sweep, but after a 7-0 defeat, not forgetting that, it went into overtime. They won by goal in overtime, and this is just the nature of the playoffs. This is what makes the good great, but this also shows that Tampa's a true champion because they were able to bounce back and convincingly. And so I think it's definitely still going to be a hard-fought series. I'm sticking with Tampa. I got to ride it out. They are the champs until they are dethroned, so I'm going to roll with it.
Paulie.
Blah, 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 blah. You want to see a dead body? Tampa's done. I told y'all Colorado's winning this. Tampa's done. They didn't already change goaltending like y'all all said and diagnostic and all that other shit. Yeah, it's just a matter of formality now, man.
I like that Boys in the Hood reference right there, Paulie. I caught that. See, I'm with you today, Paulie. That's a nice Boys in the Hood reference right there. If y'all ain't seen the movie, you suspended. If y'all ain't seen
death by 1,000 cuts.
Hey, let's ask this question.
Or should I say death by 1,000 pucks?
I've seen it.
You see, all right. If you seen Boys in the Hood, you got to put your hands up right now. Okay, good. Because you was suspended for real.
You better go to the store with that, Paulie. hey, listen, pick Paulie up if somebody start tripping.
All right. Listen, the Commanders minicamp last week. They're all on break now until we get back to the season. So let's talk Commanders real fast. We're gonna talk about a couple of different topics. First, we want to know what did you see on Thursday's practice? Of course, a lot of the veterans. The Thursday's practice was pretty much about the rookies, the undrafteds, and things like that, with a couple of veterans sprinkled in. But we wanted to know what you saw, Lou.
I saw just that. I mean, Ron Rivera said on Thursday, the day that I specifically went out there, that it was for the younger guys. He did tell me, though, that as you plot along a football season, I've been doing this now in this market. Wow, it's 20 years. Mm-hmm. I've been doing this, and each coach from Spurrier to Shanahan to Gibbs to Zorn they all have a way of plotting along an NFL season once the season ends, through the offseason, the OTAs, the training camp. They plot him along. So I asked him in the press conference afterwards. I said, "Hey, look, where you are right now as you plot along for the fall, where are you?" And he said he's a lot better off because a lot of these younger guys now have experience and they've stepped up. So they're no longer puppies anymore. I mean, they know what they need to do. Now, my bigger issue is, are they going to be able to protect Carson Wentz? Because that, to me, if asked on other shows what the biggest fear or the biggest concern is for me, is that offensive line. They lost a lot. And Carson Wentz is not a mobile quarterback. He needs to be able to sit in that pocket for a little longer than a Taylor Heineke, a little longer than even a Kirk Cousins. He needs to be able to stay in that pocket and be able to complete some passes. And that's my biggest fear. I can tell you this. I don't know if I doubt that Carson Wentz will make it throughout the entire season without getting hurt.
Oh, that's not what we want to hear. That means Taylor Heineke's coming in.
Well, again, I had mentioned to many that Carson Wentz is coming into the same position in Washington that he had in Philadelphia, where the backup quarterback is just as popular or even more popular than he is. This is Nick Foles all over again, right?
Right.
So I asked him in that opening press conference, which, Pick, you said that you heard, and other people said, I said, what have you learned about yourself? Because that intestinal fortitude is going to be tested tremendously, if things go wrong. And what did you learn in Philadelphia and then in Indianapolis that's going to help you in Washington? Because this is a franchise. I know me and Paulie even had it on the air. We had it out on the air on Travis's show. He said that Taylor Heineke was the future, right?
No. Don't put words in my mouth, Uncle Lou.
Paulie, don't.
That ain't what I said. I said he's the now.
I have saved every clip from Travis's
show.
Said
he is the now. The future is now, is what I said. Meaning he is the now.
And I said the future is not on the roster, and you lambasted me.
Yeah, because it was week 9, and you talking about Russell Wilson. That's why I said the future is now.
And the future is now.
I didn't want to hear it. Yeah, now. Meaning we worried about the next week game. That's all. That's the whole point I was trying to say. Let's not talk about what's going to happen in June or in April. It's only October, September, November, whatever it was. Okay, it didn't matter any damn ways. I mean, in the end, you was right. So what?
I don't want to step my man while he's driving. But
no, you good. Hey, man, I do this every Tuesday and Saturday, bro.
And anybody who has seen or understands football realizes that this is a 2-quarterback league. Very rarely does the starting quarterback, play the entire season without getting hurt. And this quarterback has a propensity of getting hurt. And I think that we should prepare for what is most likely going to happen instead of being surprised if it does happen.
All right. All hell Chevy says the fact that we're asking a veteran quarterback what he's learned about himself shows he's not going to look good this year. Let's hope not. Let's hope that this guy understands that this is possibly not
You know what?
This
You know
is
what
his
I've
last
learned?
shot at the starting job. Yeah, go for it. Go
You know
for
what
it.
I've learned that Carson Wentz has learned? Carson Wentz want to help Gilligan get off that island. And that's all I've heard him talk about is God and Jesus and his faith. You know what I mean? That's all I've heard him talk about. So I don't know what he's really had learned. I really don't think he has learned anything because he's leaning on God and his faith. Man, it's professional sports. You know what I mean? I know, you know, I'm a religious person too, myself or whatever, but I'm not a Bible thumper. You know what I mean? So people who are Bible thumpers kind of off-put me in the sense of that. Like, come on, man, this is like we asking you about professional sports, and you telling me that, you know, go to church on Sunday and show up for your Sunday's best. So I don't know what he's learned, man. You're not gonna learn what he has learned until the bullets start flying out there in September, man.
Well,
Same thing with Ron.
Let me, if I can, let me add some context to that because I kind of want to. That quarterback has to be a leader of men, right? Just like the coach does. So,
Right.
I guess what I was, Paulie, and what I was trying to say or ask that question, what he's learned, it's more of the relating to teammates and everything like that than his actual performance, right? I was trying to get the question, what have you learned? Because something didn't go right in Philadelphia, something, whatever was Indianapolis. I really wanted him to be able to say to the whole DC sports media first what he actually thought that he learned from experience. I'm still learning. Shoot, I'm learning how to be on Toothpick Show. Right, I'm always learning. We always learn. I want to know what this man learned. Right now, some people will say, you know what? I don't believe him at all. I don't believe he's learned anything. Well, some people will say, you know what? We'll wait till the bullets flying. But one thing he would not be able to say is that, you know what? It was other people's faults or whatever like that. He can't do that because I asked him what he learned. He can't say it was anybody else because he had to say what he learned. So I think that the intestinal fortitude of the guy who touches the ball on every single offensive snap, that question needs to be asked.
Yep.
Right.
Well, honestly, I'm glad you said that the way you ended it is because all hell Chevy says it's not a 2-quarterback league. Well, Chevy, if a person that touches the ball on every offensive snap is in the game and they take hits, there's no player that plays a whole season, goes a whole career without some kind of injury, missing the game. Those Iron Men are gone now. I don't know the last Iron Man that we could talk about in professional football that hasn't missed a game. So you have to have a quarterback, a backup quarterback, a capable backup quarterback that can come in and win you half of the games that they start. And if you don't have that, I'm going to show you a team that is not going to go very far. Evidence of Fitzpatrick playing the first 2 quarters.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that to the most part, man. It's probably 85% of the quarterbacks in the league play at least 17 games now. Play at least 16 to 17 games.
Yeah, that backup.
You know what I mean? I mean, so you can't. I mean,
look at what Colt did for Arizona last year. Look at what Colt McCoy did for Arizona.
And we played 2 or 3 games, but we talking about
won 2 out of 3.
But we talking about a quarterback that plays at a different style. There's only maybe another guy, Lamar Jackson, that plays the same style that he plays. You know what I mean? And you see Lamar Jackson got a little banged up last year too. So I think it's like whatever style you playing, what kind of offense you in, and most importantly, you know what I mean, your offensive line. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So
that
goes a long way.
Right there, Paul. Let's think about Pittsburgh with Ben Rivers.
Hold on.
Ben Roethlisberger.
Hold on. But again, on Carson Wentz, man, I'm gonna tell you what I think he learned. In my opinion, I think in Philly, I think he was entitled. I think that's what he learned, that you can't be an entitled player in this league because you know as quick as they were celebrating your ass, as quick as they got your ass up out of there. You know what I mean? and with the Colts, I think he learned that, you know what, nobody loves you more than the team that drafted you. You know, the grass ain't always greener on the other side. You know, because at the end with Philly, he wasn't fighting for his job. You know what I mean? He was basically inviting them to kick him out the door. You know what I mean? Because you see a lot of players do this. You know, they're quick to leave a team. I'll take it back to our own player, LeVar Arrington. You know, He was mad over his money that his lawyer messed up. You know what I mean? He went to the Giants. The grass wasn't greening over there. You know what I mean? And you can name a lot of players that's like that. So nobody loves you really like the team that drafts you. You know what I mean? But you can't be entitled in this league.
Hold on. We're 5 minutes late on this. Luke, we got to make our picks real fast. So we're going to be picking this NHL game that is tomorrow. So let me bring it up real fast.
Colorado money line.
Paulie, it's already yelling money line for Colorado. So we
tell
got
you, man,
Paulie.
they're going to win the series. You just pick Colorado money time every time. They're going to win more games than they lose.
Colorado is plus 1.5 on the puck line, so that's minus 265. Their win line is minus 106, and the goals is set at 6. Tampa Bay is minus 1.5 plus 215 on the puck line, and their win line is minus 110. Again, the over-under is set at 6. Let's start with say it. Who you like?
I'm going to stay with Tampa Bay. I mean, I thought they should have split earlier between the first two games, but they came out in game 3 and did their thing. I'm gonna stay with them. I think they're gonna make a series out of this. I think they're gonna tie it up, and it's gonna be a scrap down to the end of the last few games.
All right, which way you taking it?
Tampa Bay money line.
Tampa Bay money line. Got you. Paulie, you going with Colorado on the money line?
Didn't I say that?
Yeah, you did. And
that's what I meant.
Who you like, Ant?
Paulie is so spicy, man. I want to take
spicy. That's just me, bro. Whoa. Don't never address me as spicy, bro. I'm a grown ass man.
I was gonna get with you right there for a second. I was gonna get with you right there.
Hey,
I'm a grown ass man.
He had to think about it for a second. Wait a minute, he said spicy.
Yeah, he did.
I'm a grown ass man. Don't never address me as spicy.
I'm just messing with Paulie. I'm just messing with you, man. I'll give you a hard time as always. But nah, man, I'll take Tampa Bay on the money line as well. I'll take Tampa Bay on the money line as well. I got to stick to my guns.
Okay, Lou, you don't have to, but I'm gonna ask if you would like to make a pick.
I'm just gonna say Colorado. The money line, spicy, all y'all, whatever. I think that Colorado's gonna win that next game because they got hit in the mouth.
They did. I think they got hit in the mouth.
And I think overall, this is just from a sportscaster perspective. Colorado is they are quick. They are fast. They are quick. I mean, yeah, the goalie let them down, but overall, when you look at the speed on Colorado, they are what Tampa is, lightning.
That's what I said. I said they are Tampa 2 years ago.
Yeah.
That's what happens when That's what happens when you smoke that good killer out there in Colorado.
Hey, they must got it. Listen, I'm going Tampa Bay. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm going with Tampa Bay minus the 1.5 plus the 215. That's their puck line. I'm gonna take them on the puck line. With that plus 215, that's how we're going to rock with that. So
I feel like I'm on Travis's show all over again.
Hey, look, let me
Y'all be betting.
Hey man, this our job, bro. You can get a check. Shout out Ben Rivers.
Shout out Ben Rivers.
Man, AD, baby. Shout out Ben Rivers, man. You know what I
mean? I'm just hanging in.
Travis doing it for free. And that's free over here, baby. Hey, hold on. Let me go back to this football thing with Lou, man.
Oh, that's what we're doing.
Hold on. Let me go back. Hey, Lou, you know when we was going after Russell Wilson, bro, I was secretly like, please don't sign him. Please don't sign. I got to hear goddamn Lou's mouth this whole time because he talked this shit up in week 10, and I got all on it. So when they didn't sign him, I was like, woo. I knew.
It hurts you. It hurts you that I was almost right.
No, it hurts. It was gonna hurt me that I was almost wrong.
but wouldn't that have been a better pickup though?
Fellas, can I be totally honest with you?
Yeah.
Well, no, I probably already knew this. I wanted the whole package deal because actually, looking at Sierra, that wasn't going to be a bad look.
Hey, the number of training camp passes and season passes and all that just to see Sierra in the building, man, that would have been crazy.
Now the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Avalanche, all them going to see her every single night. I'm like, come on.
So listen, Bruce
I
said
knew Paulie though. I knew Paulie
Avalanche
didn't want
money
to win.
line, and he's taking the over. He says Colorado's beating Tampa at their own game. This is true. This is so true. The next thing I want to talk about is Farad Gardner. Farad Gardner. This article is on the Burgundy and Gold Report. My guy Adam did it again. He's always dropping great knowledge. Please go over to the Burgundy and Gold Report. Subscribe. It's free. This is an undrafted free agent, 6'1", 215, linebacker safety out of Louisiana, the Raging Cajun. He caught Rivera's eye for a spot that we've all heard about before. Anybody heard of a Buffalo nickel? Rivera said he wants to take a look at him. He has been in and out of the lineup in mini camps and OTAs and things like that due to little injuries, nick-ups, whatever. What do we think about this? We're still trying to replace Landon Collins. You know, the post-June Landon Collins. The post-June first cut is come and gone. He's not back yet. What do we think about it? His name is Farad Gardner.
I mean, looking at the report, looking at the stats, it all sounds cool. You know, the numbers weren't bad as last year, but I just think you got to be really careful when we start looking at guys that start trying to fill Swiss Army knife roles. You know, the Jabril Peppers of the world. I can't even name a lot of those guys who have done it and done it successfully. And no, I have no idea what the Buffalo nickel is. I think I've seen one. I think I had one when I was a kid.
The hell you talking about it for then?
That's the point, Paulie.
What the hell you talking about it for?
Paulie.
That's
You start trying to come up with all of these cool things and he can do this and a little bit of that. We need a guy that could do something effectively. So if you need him to,
and what defense? And what defense?
That's my.
And what defense are you speaking of?
NFL.
You don't even know what you're talking about, but you're trying to know what you're talking about.
Before. That's what we're talking
Jack
about.
Del Rio's defense. No, we talking about Jack Del Rio's defense, where he likes to have 3 safeties and 2 linebackers.
3 safeties
that's where you're getting a Buffalo nickel from, okay? So it's a real position in Jack Del Rio's defense. No matter how bad a defensive coordinator he is, it's still a real defense, and it's still a real position in his defense. Go ahead, continue. Okay.
No, I said my point. That's my point.
Which was nothing, but okay. Anyways, bro. Anyways, we don't know. You know what it is?
Let Paulie tell it. He's never lost an argument in his life. That's his grade school.
See, now you catching on. You catching on now.
You see what I'm saying?
Now you catching on, bro. You catching on now. Now, see, my whole point of the whole Buffalo, it don't even matter, bro. What it is they know they didn't take care of the position in the offseason. For not even just the Buffalo, they don't have enough linebackers. They don't have enough safeties. They're looking for a Cam Curl situation. They figure they could bring in a young guy and put him in a position where he doesn't have a lot of responsibility other than to be close to the line of scrimmage, to help against stopping the run and checking the occasional tight end or two. Period.
See ball, get ball.
There
Sam,
you go.
we gonna come to you in a minute. Let's hear Lou.
I mean, I could care less about any of these players until week 1.
Yep.
I guess I'm numb to it, but all these side stories and everything like that. Look, we need players that are going to play. I don't want to draft projects. I don't want people. I mean, yeah, we're going to have those people that come in maybe in the middle of the season that, show some brilliancies and show some kind of sparks. But today, right, I honestly could care less about anybody who is not going to be on the field when they play Jacksonville in week 1.
Yeah.
Because the time is over for the projects. Jamin Davis was a project, right?
Yep.
He was a project, right?
No, he wasn't a project.
They moved his position. They switched his position as a project.
He did
I'm saying
not,
that, yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
No, and saying the switching his position, then I have to agree with you on that. But as in a whole, he wasn't a project. He was in the wrong spot.
He shouldn't have been drafted that high.
No. If you're gonna draft him that high, play him where he's comfortable to be played at.
On the outside.
And who was gonna do that? Del Rio?
I just said he's a bad defensive coordinator, so
Bad.
you know what I mean? Apples and oranges.
Right. So I mean, again, Pick to your thoughts on the gentleman that you just named. I want. Is he going to be on the field week 1?
I don't know. We got to find out what he can do in camp. Hopefully,
And Lou, I like your way of thinking, man.
What
I'm the
Adam's
same
trying
way.
to do is let everybody know who they're watching and what to look for when it comes to training camp, when it comes to these going up to FedEx Field and seeing these people in person, so you know. So he's trying to inform his readers of who to watch for and who they are, give them a little bit of their background. Which said, I know said probably skipped over this when he read the article.
I'll watch it. Okay, if that's your thing, I'll watch him.
Right.
No, my thing, I'm with you, Lou. You know what? Is this year 3 and on, and for 2 years, all I've heard is bullshit. I'm tired of hearing them talk because it sounds like he's blowing smoke up my ass.
Y'all
know, and there's a pause. So I'm really tired of hearing all this talk about this person, that person, but then you don't play the best people at the positions who's out there to play. So I'm really tired of hearing all this talk too.
What I'll say is that, instead I'll let you get what I'll say is that it's up to the writers, and I see where this person is going. It's up to the writers to find those diamonds in the rough, those stories, those things, right, so we can actually have storylines beyond Carson Wentz, beyond Chase Young, beyond the Alabama boys, beyond. I mean, I get it. I get it. But at the end of the day, the educated Washington Commanders football fan is. We're not falling for the banana in the tailpipe anymore.
Banana in the tailpipe.
We want to know. We want to know. Are you going to sign Terry McLaurin and when?
Oh man!
No.
Yeah.
No,
those are the conversations that I want to have because
we're not.
Again, how many times are you going to
watch your talent play for other people and succeed?
Right. I mean that is the real. Players to watch is Terry McLaurin. That's my player to watch.
Yep.
Hey, Lou, not to cut y'all, but July 15th. That's the latest thing in franchise.
That's the latest. Well, he's not franchised.
I'm just saying.
What are you saying? Who you going to franchise? But you can't franchise a player that got 1 year on his deal.
You can't. Yeah.
But go ahead and
year
what was you going to say?
Him, but not this year. Well, for you, said I knew you probably missed this one part in this whole article where he moved from Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, I saw that.
Ohio. You missed that part, but go ahead, Sid. Tell us about Farron Gardner.
No, I saw that.
You saw that? Because he moved away from Georgia.
Because it also said that he went up to Georgia Tech, and we don't stay in Georgia Tech. So I read that.
Nobody cares about Georgia, man.
It goes back to what we say.
They think they chocolate city.
Dallas, Atlanta, or Washington. We talk about scouts. It's scouting. If at this point you hadn't, at that point in the draft, you hadn't scouted a person to fill that position, somebody, even if they were going to be an undrafted free agent, if you haven't scouted well enough to say, hey, I see somebody over here we might want to bring in and start contacting him even before the draft, or I say, look, if you're not drafted, we're going to sign you. We got you. But even worse, just like in Atlanta, you have a linebacker fall in your face that fits what you want, but you don't draft him.
N'Kobe Dean.
Okay, wait.
Y'all don't shut up about N'Kobe Dean, man.
Not to smash on this dude because they drafted.
I don't know him.
But when you look at his body of work compared to the different pieces you could have brought in besides him, it makes you wonder. Wow.
No, this is what it was, man. I don't know what the hell you talking about, but this is what it was, man. And doing their homework on Percy Butler, that guy kept flashing on him on film. So they figured that, hey, we might be able to take a fly on him too. Oh, he didn't get drafted? Well, let's bring him in for a free agent contract. Period. That's what happened. So I don't know all that stuff you talking about.
Their other safety shows up a lot in this highlight package as well. Go check out the article on the burgundyandgoldreport.com. It's free. Now, let's get into this real fast. Rob Gronkowski retired. This is just a quick one right here. Give me your top. Rob Gronkowski retired. Still has the NFL record for most receiving touchdowns by a tight end with 17. If he stays retired, where does he fall? This is real quick in your top 5, top 10 of tight ends in the NFL. We'll just go around the room real fast and find out what everybody thinks of Gronkowski. Let's start with you, Lou.
mean, you know how I feel about Mount Rushmores. I mean, Gronkowski's got to be on Mount Rushmore. You know, I mean, where you put the faces in the Mount Rushmore, that's all debatable. I mean, there's Tony Gonzalez. There's shoot, I'm old school. Kellen Winslow.
Yep.
Don't take my thunder, Lou.
Well, he's asking me. He asking me. Hey, put both hands on the wheel, bro. You know what?
Hey, bro, I'm old school. I can do it with one finger, bro. You remember your pops just spin that Cadillac with one finger? Like, I pops do that joint, man.
So again, you know, you have the you know, different eras, the different, but you can't deny the effect that he had. And to be quite honest, he made Tom Brady who Tom Brady is. Yeah. Because when you talk about a safety valve that's that big, that strong, that fast, he basically turned into a primary receiver for, you know, you want to talk about a dump down, a check down. I mean, how would you like to have that as a dump down? I mean, that's what all teams want. So I don't know if he's number one, even with all the stats. It all depends on where you are going, but you cannot deny that in the lexicon of the NFL, Rob Gronkowski's in the Mount Rushmore, which is the top 4 of all time for me.
Ant.
Yeah, just a big play waiting to happen. Definitely top 5. Definitely could push for 4. What him and Tom Brady did in this league is a big feat. So definitely top 5 for me, man. Just an elite. I mean, you put a safety on him, it's a problem. You put a linebacker on him, it's a problem. You dare not put a corner. He's gonna throw him around like a rag doll. So definitely top 4 or 5 guy of all time, easy.
Paulie.
Like I stated earlier, man. In my eyes, Kellen Winslow is the greatest tight end I've ever seen, you know. But Gronkowski, you know, hey, he was good, you know what I mean? I mean, he single-handedly won that Super Bowl against the Rams. Oh, he was the only offensive weapon they had in that game, you know. So to say he's not one of the top 5, you know, would be a farce. So I'll definitely say he's one of the top 5. But to me, in my eyes, Kellen Winslow was the greatest tight end of all time. That's my opinion.
So can I throw in it? So because I mean I'll ask everybody. I mean I know this is your show, but this stuff I love. Well, who would be in your top 5, Paulie?
As tight ends?
Yeah.
Well, we got 2 right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So third, I'm not saying in any order, but
no order.
A third guy has to be Ozzie Newsome.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Fourth guy have to be Tony Gonzalez. That's 4. You know what I mean? 5.
Yep.
No, I already got Kellen Winslow. So 5, man. 5. Off the top of my head, I would have to go with Todd Christensen. Nice. I'll put Todd Christensen at 5, man.
I didn't even think about that one, Paulie. So here's mine real fast. I'm gonna come to you. Say it. No, say it. Go ahead. Say it. Go say it.
No, and then hold on. Behind him, you got your Keith Jacksons, Mark Chmura's.
You can't throw in all these other people, man. Yo, 5 and that's it. You can't throw it. You can't see. That's why. He
got his Travis
names down.
You got your Mark Chmura's, you know, Jay Novacek's.
Come on,
you know what I mean?
Come on, say it. Who you got?
Cosby's.
And listen, even with all of those, he's missing out the most important ones. So keep going.
Go ahead, say it. Go say it.
Seeing as though you know, I got to see Gronk a little too often from my
Jesse Turtle.
And I think the guy does belong, you know, in the top 5.
Okay, well, give him to us. Give him to us. Give us 5.
I mean,
give
like Gronk. I mean, you got Ozzie.
4 more.
Novacek was one of mine.
Novacek. Okay.
That was one of mine coming out of there because I mean, unfortunately, I watch a lot, play more than enough.
Okay, I'm gonna give y'all mine. So
go ahead, Lou. Go ahead, Lou has some other names. Go ahead, Lou.
You can't forget Antonio Gates, Tony Gonzalez.
There you go. We said Tony Gonzalez.
Hey,
I forgot Gates.
You can't forget what oh my God, I lost redhead New Orleans. God, his name is on the tip of my tongue.
Redhead New Orleans.
He went to Seattle. Yeah.
Oh,
from Miami.
Oh no,
Why he wound up going away from Drew Brees because they didn't want to pay him. Come on, what's his
he
name?
He wasn't from Miami. I know you're talking about that.
He went to the University
of Miami. You should have looked him up.
He went to the University of
Miami. What's my man name?
What's the guy's name?
Hey Lou, who you had? Hey Lou, who you had? Because I'm curious. You said I didn't say who you had, Lou. Well, who else was in that group?
Again,
what is his name?
This is how important this list is because I'm throwing in a name that hurts me to say it, but any list of tight ends that does not have Jason Witten,
Jimmy Graham.
I don't like Jason Witten.
Jason Witten was
overrated.
But he was a beast.
Who's overrated?
Overrated. Jason Witten.
Jason Witten is overrated.
Hey, look.
I mean, look. Why go off camera?
Man,
would you all put Shannon Sharp on the list?
I didn't name.
Oh man,
I didn't.
Paul
didn't even go yet.
Oh yeah,
I was gonna say.
Let him go.
I was gonna say Jason Witten's got to be on there. This is guys that I've known. Some I knew from back in the day. So Winslow, Gates, Gronk, Witten, and Shannon Sharp. And I might have missed one person, but I mean I can only go
Shannon Sharp. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
I saw, and then the Winslow. I never saw Winslow play, but I know he was a great. So
man.
Hey, what's my man that used to play with the Colts for Peyton Manning? He was a beast too.
Dallas Clark.
Dallas Clark. Yeah, Dallas Clark.
Injuries derailed that career right there. Dallas Clark was a oh my God.
Heath Miller.
Oh man.
Listen,
Shockey.
Who?
That's why I said Jeremy. I said
who the hell is Heath earlier. Who is Heath Miller?
Oh, Paulie, you got homework.
I ain't got no homework.
For Carolina.
He ain't no homework. He's a bum.
Who was the guy that was in Carolina for all those years?
Greg Olsen.
Greg Olsen.
He was okay. He was okay, man. He was like Jason Witten, man.
Greg Olsen was all he had.
Listen, would you put Travis Kelce on your list?
Right now, he's got to retire. He's got to. I can't put him there. He's got to retire. I got to see his finished body of work. I got to see his finished body of work.
Hold on. As far as being an all-time,
the common denominator is that Gronkowski is on all of our lists, correct?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, no doubt.
He's got to be on all of our lists.
Right.
No doubt.
So that's the answer to your question, Pick. I mean, he's got to be on any list of 4 or 5. When you want to go starting 5 or Mount Rushmore, no top 10s. If you're doing 5 or 4, Gronkowski's on either list for me.
He's on the list. Which brings us to the next question. Is he a first ballot Hall of Famer? This is just a quick one right here.
Of course. Come on. We just said he's top 5. If he's top 5, he got to be on the list.
If Jayson Taylor is a first ballot Hall of Famer, then
Kurt Warner. Come on. Hey, you know what's crazy though? The tight end position, we named all these great tight ends and everything, but the tight end position is the most underrated position on the field.
Not now.
Not now.
Not now.
When you're
of all time.
Listen, when you're in the same media market with Brian Mitchell, I think the kick punt returner, who can open up stuff for you, that boy should be in the Hall of Fame already. You want to talk about underrated? Shoot.
No. I mean, but it's not a position. It's a position of value, but not like the tight end position is, man. Look at all the teams. Look at all the teams who have had these great tight ends. They've all had dynamic offenses, right? But it's not a lot of teams who go out and look for great tight ends. They just look for pedestrians, guys that can fill the position and who could possibly maybe run block here and there.
Because it's hard to feel that. Most great tight ends used to be receivers.
Yeah.
So it's
that's not true. That's not true.
Vernon Davis is a tight end because he wanted to get on the field at the.
He was always
Maryland.
That's a college, so he was a tight end.
He went to Maryland as a wide receiver. He went to Maryland as a wide receiver.
Shannon Sharp.
as a wide receiver and
Shannon
said, I
Sharp what?
want to get on the field, and they moved him to tight end. And he had a great career.
Shannon Sharp destroyed his
See,
league as a receiver.
but Vernon Davis is not one of the top tight ends of all time.
I'm just saying that's why he switched positions.
Shannon Sharp is. I'll give you that on that one.
So,
you know what I mean? But that was a position change by Shanahan.
Again,
But
the question on the table was, is he a first ballot Hall of Famer?
Of course.
Yes.
He's top 5. Of course, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
And
He should
and
be.
I was just gonna say, there are tight ends that are leading the league in receiving on different teams. So I just can't buy that one. I would say the fullback, if anything. If you look at certain teams that are
Every team don't have a fullback, so how are you gonna put that out there?
That's
coming from a no, you can't say that. Every team don't have a fullback. Come on, man. Every team who has a good fullback doesn't have a doctor. Every team has a good fullback.
I would like to make a point.
Can I tell you how much?
If it's okay.
I tell you how much I've been.
It's not okay.
Listening to him. Can I tell you how much I miss listening to him every day? Paulie is out of control.
Paulie's
I'm in control, bro. It's just craziness going on, man.
No, you're not.
There's a bunch of craziness going on up here.
Claim it that you're out of control and love it. We love you for it. Don't be in control. We don't want you to be in control.
It's called organized confusion.
In a league where certain tight ends could argue for being most valuable players, Paulie makes the hot take that tight ends are the most underrated of all time. It just doesn't even make sense.
Hold on. Tell me which tight end outside of Gronk has been even mentioned of most valuable player. Even when Gates
Travis Kelce.
When have you heard Travis Kelce in an MVP race? Come on, man.
You're gonna hear about it this year because Tyreek Hill is gone.
We shall see. Now we shall see. Now we shall see about that. Now we shall see how good Travis Kelce is.
Hold on. Somebody make a point. Even before Tyreek Hill started showing out, Travis Kelce was the linchpin. People knew they had to double him. They had to box him to keep him out of the end zone. He was one of the strongest wide receivers. Well, can't say wide receiver.
No, he was a quarterback
on the team.
He was a quarterback. He was a quarterback. Travis Kelce was.
All I'm saying is, two of the most dynamic offensive. My whole point of the underrated tight ends are underrated is usually teams that have one solid one, and every now and then some teams that have one all-star one. But in my mind, I can remember the Green Bay Packers with Keith Jackson and Mark Shamor, and the New England Patriots with Aaron Hernandez and Gronkowski, and Gronkowski wasn't better than Hernandez. Them couple of seasons they played together. You say what you want to say. Off the field problems, whatever. You know what I mean? He wasn't better than Aaron Hernandez. But with two tight ends on the field being that dynamic, those offenses were unstoppable. That's all I'm saying, bro.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you there, Paulie. Hernandez was the better of the two tight ends that they had. And they even told you that by the amount of money that they paid him before, everything started to unravel for him. That was supposed to be like a 2-minute conversation, but it was great. So now,
hey, bro, don't nothing with me go 2 minutes, homie.
Oh no, but hey,
and I ain't pausing.
But that was a great debate right there. I appreciate it, Lou. Well, it's not Wednesday. It's your time. What do you got for us?
Well, I think that I'm so glad that Steph Curry won that fourth title, and he won it all with the same team. I am in full agreement that today's NBA landscape is, going to different places and teaming up with super teams and things of that nature. I come from the old school. Doc would never have left Philly to go play with Larry Bird in Boston, right?
Exactly.
Tim Duncan would never have left San Antonio to team up with anybody, right? If you are a great, great player, you stay where the heck you are, and you make people around you better, right? So this is 2 years in a row now with Milwaukee and the Greek Freak, right? And now Curry, who they were horrible, but he picked them back up off the scrap heap. He made Jordan Poole. He made all these people better. Wiggins, all these people better around him, right? And I'm saying my thing is he has validated the fact that you do not have to go jump all around the NBA
to get a ring.
Right. I mean, no one was going to say. I mean, yes, the Golden State had the Run TMC and they had Richardson for a while, but the Golden State was not sexy when Curry got there. You know what I'm saying? People wanted to come and play with him, right?
Baron Davis is. Hey, let me add.
Right.
Let him get to the question, Paulie. Let him get to the question. Come on, Luke.
So I mean, it's not so much of a question. It is an observation that all of these, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, all these people that jump around, right? I mean, I gave LeBron that one pass when he went to Miami to join up with Dwayne Wade, and he sat there and said, not 3, not 4, not 5, but he goes back to Cleveland. Now he's trying to go back to LA, and now he's not even sure he wants to stay in LA. I guess he's trying to wait and see what, Bronny's going to do or whatever. But at the end of the day, I was so happy to see Steph Curry, right, be down and then come back with the same team, because that's what I'm used to, right? And I'm old school, and if I was on a mic with Travis and Anthony, we would all have different perspectives. Everybody here probably has a different perspective, but the old school in me that didn't see Hakeem leave to go all these places, or Tim Duncan, or some of these teams, the people that were in these obscure locations, they just made where they were better.
Yeah.
Hey, look, this ain't Travis' show, man. This ain't the experience. Don't come and talk about let him get the question. Now, this man is making an observation like he said. Look, man, the whole thing is Steph Curry got 4 rings. LeBron got 3.5. That bubble shit don't count. And even saying that, who gonna stop them coming out the West next year? He gonna be vying for 5 next year. You know what I mean? And they're talking about LeBron, talking about going to the Heat or whatever. I'm so tired of LeBron, hearing about LeBron. I gave him his due coming out of – one thing I say about LeBron, he's lived up to all the billing. It's hard to come out of high school and you're on ESPN, you're on the magazine, you're on TV, they're saying you're going to be the greatest, you're the best, and he's lived up to the building. But, yes, it's saying that. I don't like all this jumping around from team to team looking for the best situation with Steph. And, look, Steph Curry, it took him 4.5, 5 years to be Chef Curry. He ain't just come out the gate. He ain't just come out the gate, tearing the league up or figuring the league out. You know what I mean? So, yeah, who gonna beat him next year? I see 5 on the horizon, and I see LeBron still twiddling his thumbs. See, that's what happened when you go and you go for the spotlight and you don't go for championships, man. Because if for real, the year when he was a free agent, if he was really about getting up championship rings, he'd have went to Philly. Because they was ready. They was ready. And they wanted him. He wanted to go out there and live on the beach. He wanted to go live a life on the beach in Hollywood and make a boring ass Space Jams 2. Bro, you ain't Mike Jordan. That won't go work. The movie's corny or whatever. But yeah, man. I most definitely shout out Steph Curry, my mother's favorite player. You know what I mean? But I see 5 on the horizon for Steph Curry, man. Then what you gonna say? What you gonna say, LeBron? Because right now because his hardware is adding up. So then we're gonna have the debate: who is the greatest player of this era?
I definitely agree that he deserves a lot of credence for what he did, staying with one team. As much as people can say that, and that's what kind of soured me on LeBron, because I'm 34, but I definitely respected seeing the Kobe, seeing all of these players who were greats that stayed down and represented one franchise, the Dirks of the world, of course, in one of my favorite players, but some people could also make the argument that LeBron was the first to ever take his destiny into his own hands. Because if we go back to even like a Scottie Pippen who was having, contract issues and, things weren't working in their favor.
He ain't the first, bro. He wasn't the first.
No, I agree. but I'm saying there were a lot of
Moses
players that
Malone
weren't able to make those moves. And so, as much as we could argue, hey, we tired of seeing you move, we could also say, hey, that's the reason he's, a billionaire at this point, because he was able to do something that a lot of other athletes weren't able to do.
2-year deals.
No.
2-year deals.
His deals and his going to different teams, that didn't make him a billionaire. His talent made him a billionaire. But look, like you saying he wanted the first, it was players before him, man. See Moses Malone. You know what I mean?
He just did
Charles
it in a different
Barkley.
area. He just did it in a different era, and he showed the guys, okay, with this free agency and the money that we're making, you don't have to take these long-term contracts. You take these short deals, and before you know it, you're still in your prime, and they offering you another bag instead of taking a 5 or 6 year deal. What you think's about to happen down here in Dallas with Luka? They're going to try to lock Luka up and then build a team around Luka. No,
that's different now.
I see
it's different now. It's different now. You got this max money now. You think Bradley Beal is not going to sign a $250 million contract? He don't care how bad that team is, or if that team ever going to vie for a championship. We're talking about $250 million. He don't care. Find out after the draft. I can guarantee you right now, bro. He gonna put the pen to that paper, and he gonna take that $250 million and live his life, regardless of what. If that team go 20-62, he don't care. These players, it's about the money now. You know what I mean? That's all it's about.
I can agree and I can disagree with that, because at some point these guys stop worrying about the money and they want a ring.
Rings are what count in the NBA.
And that's what you saw with the Lakers back in the day, when they had all those players run to the Lakers to try to make a super team, because all those guys didn't have rings.
They was old. They wasn't commanding a lot of money.
And then what we can say about, like what Lou was saying about, these people staying on one team. Yeah, back in the day they did stay on one team, but there were some teams that didn't do right by those players and building around them. And because they were handcuffed, because the free agency wasn't what it is now, they had to stay there. And a lot of those guys, careers died.
They didn't have to stay there, bro.
I got a question.
They couldn't up and
that was the Jordan factor.
Other places, that type thing.
That was the Jordan factor.
It's like
man.
you said, it's both ways. Personally, I kind of like it, but I can understand why people don't like it, because now you have all the talent on one team.
So let me make sure I understand. You like when players move around like that?
I do, because we're in an area where, not more in basketball wise, where these owners, if they have a 4th year option, whether or not they want to pick these guys up, whether they're playing well or not, sometimes they won't do it. Even though they should, they won't. So this gives them the chance, okay, well, they're not going to pick it up no way. So, I'm going to go ahead and dip. I got my player option. I'm just going to go ahead and dip. I'm going to decline it. I'm going to dip. I'm going to be an unrestricted free agent. And I can go where I want to go.
I got a question real fast. I'm going to name a player. Y'all tell me if the team should move on from them, or if the player should stay there and the team build around them. All right? Joel Embiid.
How the hell would you move on for Joel Embiid?
That's all they're doing right now.
Come on, man.
Look at what he got right now. Look at what he got right now.
You're not hearing me. In this day and age, they giving out $250 million. You think he going somewhere?
So you're saying
he ain't going nowhere?
Build around.
Look, the market has changed from even when LeBron was going to the Heat, and I'm with you, Luke.
It's just build around, or should they move on from him? Build around or move on from him? So you saying build?
No, I'm not saying build. No, I'm not saying that.
What are you saying?
You saying it for me, so go ahead.
Okay, and
you
saying build around him. Build around him.
Say it.
Yeah, that's what they should be doing, building around them.
All right,
Luke. Pieces you need.
Build around him, right?
That's my team. So they've already made the decision to build around him by getting rid of everybody else. So
all right.
You cannot build around Harden.
No.
So you have to build around. That's what they call trusting the process, right?
Right.
Now, I don't. Yeah. Me personally, I'm hard on the team because that's my team. I don't think that the process is going to ever win a championship, right?
That was my first team.
But they have to build around him because they have put all the chips in for Joel Embiid, who, by the way, should have been
the MVP.
Should have been co-MVP if anything.
Yep.
No, he should have been an MVP.
Man.
My
I
next
knew-
player.
You know they were going to give it to Joker. You knew they were
No,
going to.
I did. But
The
that Philly
Ray
was my first team.
Ray Charles could have seen that Joker was going to get something out of that.
Yeah.
The next player is Jayson Tatum. Say it. Jayson Tatum. Build or move?
They got a young core. You got to build around it. They got a young core.
Paulie, build or move?
Man, what kind of players did you bring in? What kind of question is this, man? The
Hey.
man just came out of the damn championships, the finals.
But
No,
look what
get
happened
rid
to
of
his team. Look
Get
what
rid of
happened to
him.
his team. Look
Get
what
rid of
happened to
him.
his
He just came
He
out of the
didn't win. saying,
finals, man.
I'm just saying,
What are you
Paulie,
talking about, man?
build or move? You saying it's build. And
He just came out of the finals.
I know, Paulie.
What are you talking about? He wasn't the problem.
Whoa, you better go back and look at his points.
No, bro. I'm
He's
saying
a
he
number
wasn't.
one.
What I'm saying, he's not the problem on the team. He's
Paulie.
not the reason why he didn't have a good series, yeah, but he's not the problem. He's not
They
he's
don't
okay.
have a
Let me change my words. He's not a problem. He might have been
not
the
a
problem, but he's not a problem. He's
You're right.
the core
You
of
know
that
what?
team. That's all I'm
You know what?
saying.
You're right. Wiggins was the problem because Wiggins put that D on him.
Pause.
And
Huh?
Sid-
It was his first go around. That's all.
Pause.
It was his first go around. It was his first pause. He put that D on him. Pause. It was his first go around, man. We'll see next year. He's not the problem for that team, man. Just ask, should you build around him? What are you talking about? He took him to the finals, man.
Oh,
Ant,
my
what was you about to
goodness.
say, Ant?
Young player. He's been the most consistent, whether they had Kyrie or they didn't. I'm not so sure that the answer is definitely built around him. There are definitely some flaws that he needs to work on. Not saying he's not a great player or close to being the future of this franchise or a franchise. I'm not so sure you don't move on. I hate to ride the fence on this, but I'm not.
Choose a side. You're not gonna ride the fence. Choose a side.
Move on.
You might well ride the fence. This question's crazy, man.
Move on.
Jayson Tatum? What's controversial about Jayson Tatum?
Move on.
Lou, what was you about to say?
Paulie's outstanding.
No,
Brad Stevens was taken off of the bench to go into the front office for that reason, to find players to build around. There's no way they're parting with Jayson Tatum. I mean, that's all Brad Stevens right there. That's his legacy right there. They are going to build around that young man, and he's like very similar to Joel Embiid. They're going to hitch their wagon to that player. That player. He's marketable. He's light-skinned.
With curly hair.
Curly hair. Pretty Ricky. Pretty Jason is what they call him.
And he got a little slick in the front and it's slick down in the front.
Hey, I think
hey, bro, those three players, they good with their core.
Give us another.
Tatum Brown is smart.
Give us another
all
one.
right, I'll give you another one. Jimmy Buckets down in Miami. Jimmy Butler.
Oh, that's a move on.
That's not a move on.
Jimmy Buckets at the end of his career. Move on.
That ain't no move on.
He at the end of his career. He's at
the end of his career.
And
you're right. 41 points is
him
the end.
having to play 44,
36 points is the end.
45, however many minutes it was.
You're right.
Last
That's
two games,
the end.
he was tired in the final game. He had nothing.
Because he carried the team. What are you talking about?
He strapped that back.
What are you talking about?
That's what I'm saying.
Let's move on for our best player.
What are
you talking about?
By the time you build around him, he's
wasn't
out
the
of there.
problem. Again, he's not the problem.
My opinion, move on.
Yeah. That's why your team sucks.
Paulie,
They beat the Knicks.
That's why your team sucks.
They beat the Knicks.
How about that? Whatever, man. That's why your team sucks. Just with that type of thinking. I mean, they can beat the Knicks all they want to. We ain't talking about the Knicks. We talking about that asinine-ass comment of get rid of Jimmy Butler. And replace him with who?
I'm glad Paulie stopped right now.
Come on, man.
Oh, my
What we got, man? What you got with Jimmy Buckets? Bill?
Bro, have you not heard me for the past 2 damn minutes?
And
Add on.
This is the reality about Jimmy Butler. It's not that he's getting old. This is just who Jimmy Butler is. He's a great 2 that's masqueraded as a 1. he cannot be the guy who's going to win you a championship. He'll get you very close. He'll put you in good position. He'll play hard, but you can't name one thing that he does really great. He's a solid all-around player with a decent mid-range game. He plays good defense. He's a great leader.
I think his mid-range game.
Name me a player in his league. Name me a player in his league who can win it by himself.
But I'll say this.
So who is he?
Stick with him, and you continue to put better players around him.
Thank you. So you saying stick with him. Now I'm gonna say this and add on to that. It ain't really what they want, it's what Jimmy wants. Jimmy want to be there, he'll be there. Jimmy want to go, Jimmy will go. Jimmy don't play around. Ask the Timberwolves.
Jimmy sure don't. That's for real.
Tobias Harris over me? Tobias Harris over me?
Facts.
Now, Jimmy,
I forgot he was in Philly. Philly would love to have him right now.
Hello, I would take him. JJ Redick, I would wrap up all of that for those two players back, because that is when we had shooters. We had, Jimmy is perfect for Miami. Spoelstra knows how to coach him. They're just going to build things around him. He's perfect for them. I mean, you got to find players that are personalities in this league. Jimmy Butler is a personality in this league, right? So wow. So there's none of these players that you mentioned picked that I was going to move on from. Everybody's, they all say.
I'm going to say this. The problem is Philly.
Somebody we can think about.
The problem in Philly right now is Doc Rivers is masquerading as a hell of a coach. He's not. He ain't that good, bro.
Listen, keep my team out your mouth, bro.
Hey, I tell you, that was my first love. Philly was my first love. Philly was my first love. You know what I mean? They kicked me in my teeth when they got rid of Moses and Charles. You know what I mean? Come on, man. Come on, man. Like I said, Doc Rivers owns a lawn chair folding store, and that's the problem.
Here's the next player, Kyrie.
Who?
Kyrie.
Get him out of there.
Irving.
He don't even want to be there, so get him out of there.
I thought you were going to give us something to think about.
Something to think about? Something to think about.
Kyrie Irving, he plays in half the games. How are you going to build around somebody who can't play in half the games?
He don't want to be there. Well, we'll find out June 29th. He got to either opt in or opt out of that contract.
36.8 million.
Yeah. We don't have to wait that long. He's going to opt out.
But
because he won the max. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you good. Go ahead.
Say the only way he opt out is because he think he's gonna get the max.
I think John Wall just opted out. Didn't John Wall just opt out?
John Wall just opted in, I believe.
They picked him. They picked him up. Yeah.
Hey, John Wall can't opt out of nothing.
Well, so this is the problem with Kyrie is we could say whatever we think or feel about him, but when he's on the court, the numbers still speak for themselves. And we can't judge anything based off of what happened in that playoff series when he didn't play half the year. That doesn't mean that it wasn't his fault that he didn't play, but you're still not going to find as gifted a ball handler and scorer in today's league, bar any of the other stuff that you want to look at. And we know just like James Harden's going to get paid, Kyrie's going to get paid. It's just that simple, guys. Like they're going to pay the guys who can put the ball in the bucket. And it's just what it is. At this point, they're going to, even if they're just going to get paid off of their name, it's just how it goes.
The high maintenance level of Kyrie has taken it to, and it's taken it to a level that nobody wants to deal with that anymore. I mean, he is very, very talented. We know that. Shoot, they made a movie about him, Uncle Drew. Shoot, I mean, the boy is nice, but but he is a headache. He is a headache. He's
Absolutely.
A problem. He's a problem, and that brilliance on the court, right? Is how should I say? It's alienating other teammates, right? Kevin Durant now, I mean, he has remorse now about he's going to all these different teams, right? If you were that good, right, you would be in one team, right? I mean, I think of Kyrie Irving's skill set, right? That was about as dynamic and thorough, not, in that whole Dwayne Wade conversation, right? Smooth, silky. I mean, he had a great game. But you know what? Dwayne Wade wasn't jumping all over the place. You couldn't play with LeBron. You couldn't play with this. You couldn't play in Boston. Now there's problems with the Nets. I mean, he's a problem. He's a problem. And some of these GMs are like, you know what? I'll forego all that money because I don't want a problem.
Hey, look, man, I thought I heard somebody just say you can't blame Kyrie for what happened in the playoffs. What you smoking on, man? You can't. I know what you. I know who it was. Yeah. I know who it was. It was Flash over there, man.
He was smoking.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know who it was. Look, man, hold on. No, you listen. You listen. Hold on. Give me a minute. You listen. I told you what was going on. I told you what was going on. No, you listen. You listen. The man, you know why they was in that spot? They was in that spot because he missed all them games. That's why they was in the 8th spot. So to say it ain't his fault, you crazy, man. Come on, bro.
Did that man just roll up the window?
He did. He hit him with the.
Hey, man. I don't play about this thing of ours. What you talking about, man?
Oh my God. Paulie said
you
no.
Know what I mean? I don't play about this thing of ours, bro.
And he rolled up the window to yell at you.
That was the most. Because he be saying some asinine shit up here, man. It's not his fault. You can't blame him for that play. Yes, you can. Come on, man. You can't flip the light switch on and off.
Hey, Truth, do you have a parental ratings thing on this first screen?
I do, but Paulie's wrecking it because it's supposed to be no explicit. But Paulie, I'm about to take that down when we upload it tonight today. This episode is gonna be ridiculous.
That guy in the right hand side of the screen is straight from the whole Set It Off movie.
For the 757, baby.
For the 757. Hey, so the last one I'm gonna ask y'all about is this one. This one's the sort of end player. All right, Donovan Mitchell, Spider Mitchell. Utah Jazz, Spider Mitchell.
Well, he don't want to be there, so you can't build around him.
Oh, that's because of what just happened with his coach. Now, before that coach,
Utah is like, hey, my man G from the shop told me this. Utah is just like Minnesota. Players go there, they flash, and they die. They're not never going to build anything. This is not John Stockton, Karl Malone no more. That's never going to happen again, and not in recent, and not in near time. So, bro, hey, he out of there. You know what I mean?
He's out of there.
He out of there. Hey, Lou, my man G told me to tell you what up too.
Hey, what up, G? Yo, that first chat said I'm just here for the entertainment. Did you? What was that?
That's Bruce Glass. That's how I got Bruce. He's always first in the building.
I tune in for the entertainment.
I tune in for the entertainment. I tune in for the entertainment. I know he's dying laughing.
Hey, that was funny.
So who's building around Spider? Say it.
If he don't want to be there, man, that
wasn't a question.
Come on,
it's difficult. I'm not worried. I'm just saying it's difficult. I mean, if a guy doesn't want to be there and you're trying to build around him, if he's gonna be there, build. If he's not gonna be there, no.
Oh God. His aunt that's riding the fence. Choose a side, man.
I only did that one time.
It's about to be Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, man. He's a young cat, man. Build around him if you can.
Build around.
It's about scouting, man. We all know it's about scouting. We got some of these teams that have been horrible for years. It's bad scouting, dude. It's as simple as that.
And what you think?
He's a small player that plays big. He just was so explosive that it makes you think that he's something that he's not. Once again, I think that ultimately they will move on. I think they will choose to move on.
Lou,
I think they choose to move on.
From who?
From Spider Mitchell. From Spider
Mitchell.
Just because we said yes to everybody else.
Just because we said yes.
One of my favorite Spider Mitchell things of all times was how he was at the Boys and Girls Club with LeBron as a kid when LeBron said he was taking his talents to South Beach.
Oh yeah,
in New York.
He was
in New York.
Yeah. Hey, this is for Paulie right here. Julius Randle is the last one. Julius Randle, because New York's trying to blow their whole thing up for something I don't know what. Say it. What are you doing? And you know Julius Randle lit y'all up, so come on.
Wait,
Let who up?
it was just bright where Paulie is, and now it's dark. What is he doing?
Hey, bro, I'm out and about in the 757, man. You know, you go to different
Still
areas.
around him,
Hey,
man.
You gotta-
you dropped the area.
Sometimes you gotta. Sometimes you gotta shine. Sometimes you gotta shine.
One more time. We know.
Sometimes, hey man, sometimes you gotta shine. Sometimes you gotta be incognito, man. It's dangerous out here, bro.
As it got darker, Paulie got darker with it. Paulie's
You know what I mean? We ain't light skinned and curly over here, bro.
Hey, listen, the way gas prices is, I couldn't be rolling around just.
Oh, that's the company joint right there. He's going to scoop them up for the gas prices. Hey, Ed, what you doing? You building around Julius Randle, or you moving on?
I like Julius. I would now if I was them, I would move on.
I'm gonna let Paulie go last on this one. Lou, what you got for Julius Randle?
Move on.
Paulie, your guy, Julius Randle.
I wouldn't move on, but I wouldn't be looking to build around. I would be trying to add to, because
you can't rap the fence either, Paulie. Choose a side.
Yeah, I'm always on the Knicks side. What are you talking about? My whole point is I'm not just getting rid of talent just to get rid. He ain't the blame. You know what I mean? The blame is sitting on the bench.
The coach.
You know what I mean? Yeah, with a sweater on, thinking he Almighty God. That's the blame. That's what I'm saying. I'm not just getting rid of talent for nothing. I'm not gonna just walk away from him or let him just bounce for nothing. Come on now, we gotta be smart about that. And he's not the type of I hope he's smart enough to know that he's not that type of player to be like, well, I need to get out of here. He's not. He's a second, third guy.
The Knicks are trying to make some moves, so don't know about their roster position and what they're gonna do with it. I'm gonna keep listening. The draft is Thursday, so make sure y'all catch up with us on Thursday. We got a new podcast team joining us. Tailgate Ted and Rally Cap have DMV Mess Hall. Tailgate Ted and Rally Cap will be joining us on Thursday, and their podcast is called
Go Dark.
DMV Mess Hall. So make sure y'all join us then. Lou, we want to thank you for joining us today. It's been a pleasure. It's been too long since we had you on, and we miss you on the radio for sure.
This has been an experience. Thank you, brothers. And it was a pleasure meeting you.
This ain't no damn experience. I'm banning all Travis Thomas phrases from this damn show. You know you my guy, Lou. I'm just messing with you.
It's been a pleasure, guys. I appreciate it.
Hey, tell everybody where they can find you, where they can hear you, where you reporting at.
Not next to Paulie.
Come on, Lou. You know you my guy, bro. What you talking about, man?
I know it's all love. It's all love. Instagram, Twitter, you know all the handles. So man, I'm just the calm before the storm. I'm so glad I'm sorry that I'm so glad that I don't have to go all the way down to Richmond anymore.
Yes. Yes.
Hey Lou, man, what you had on that grill for Father's Day, man? I know you had some good Caribbean spices going on.
I did, but it was the day after because I was actually playing golf on Father's Day. So.
Hey, it don't matter, man. It's still Father's Day. Happy Father's Day
I know,
to you,
absolutely.
man.
Yeah, Father's Day should be every day.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It is every day, bro. You know what I mean? We just don't get recognized for it every day, you know what I mean? Like, even on our day, we got to cook.
Right.
Man.
Yeah.
Hey,
since he mentioned it, I do want to shout out all the brothers who have taken the job as fatherhood very seriously. So because we are affecting lives and not just our biological children, people who we have mentored, people we're always pouring in, you know. Jackie Robinson said a life is not important except on the impact it has on other lives. And there's brothers looking at everybody on this podcast. I'm proud of you and starting your own, and bringing in other brothers. That's all part of fatherhood. You know, we are a father parenting to somebody, right? If you're not reaching back and trying to get a youngster to emulate and follow you, then you are wasting space on this planet. You are wasting space on this planet. So I applaud all of y'all. I applaud every male that's out there, because you know what? The black man gets a bad rap. We're not this, we're not doing this. I remember when I first got to the Washington, D.C. market, and I would show up at my kid's school, and the teachers and the administration were actually surprised to see me. And I'm like, what do you mean?
Wow.
This child has two parents. I'm the father, and I'm gonna be involved with this child's life, right?
That's right.
I'm sorry if you're not used to seeing fathers at the PTA and at the car washes and everything, but you're gonna see me, right? And it just hurt me to see that. So I purposed in my life. I just put another kid through high school, and I was always there, right? Presence is so important. So, Paulie, I'm so glad that you brought it up, because it's not just on the day that Hallmark says that we should celebrate fatherhood, just like it's not on the day that Hallmark says we should celebrate motherhood. Yo, fatherhood and motherhood, they are full-time job.
Appreciate that.
Full-time job.
Facts, man. I just graduated.
And I appreciate that, because you know what? We get beat up by the world so much. It's good to be recognized for what we are doing right. And that's every male, for what we're doing right. And I appreciate Paulie saying that. And I appreciate what you all brothers are doing in your personal lives, in your spaces, in your villages, in your spaces of influence. Keep doing what you do, because it ain't easy trying to be a standard bearer, because people are always going to be mad that, you know, why are you doing this, and why are we doing that today, and bucking the trend, and society have this. Yo, you got to stay the course and believe what you believe. And at the end of the day, you got to be able to sleep at night saying, you know what, I've done the right thing.
That's right.
Hello.
I feel you. I just graduated one last week too, Lou.
Congratulations, bro.
You know what I mean? And I got a 12-year-old that I'm up in her school every day. And it's not even just about the teachers. I want her to know that I care.
Yeah.
Because if they don't think that you don't care, then they're not gonna care.
Correct. And
you know what I mean?
And I use the example of a TV tripod, you know, the camera that you see all of our camera crews on. And even when you put a tripod on, right, and you put the camera on top of the tripod, fellas, there's 3 legs to the tripod, right? If one of those legs is not even, the camera is off, right?
That's right.
The 3 legs to that tripod is the school and the educational part, you as the parent, and then the child. All 3 of them got to line up for that picture to look right, right? And I don't want to be the leg of the tripod that ain't balanced, right?
There you go.
I'm gonna do my part, and I hate even some of the business that I'm in, the profession that I'm in. They always talk about the bad, but they don't tell the good stories of what fathers are doing in the community and everything like that. Man, I'm so sick of all that right now. And what this world needs is more stories about fathers and males doing good instead of all the males who ain't doing bleep.
Yep.
Hey, appreciate everybody in the chat today. Thank you, Lou. Thank you for that last part right there. I know I'm going to cut that up. That's going on a clip for real. Just a couple of shout outs to everybody in the chat. Ron O'Neill, my guy. That's my guy, Ron. My main man, Drew. Hawk TV checked in. John Grace, the OGs, the DMV, that podcast. Make sure you go and check them out. We appreciate each and everybody for jumping on here. It'll be up tomorrow at 5 a.m. on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Anchor. We're moving around. You can find us everywhere that you find a good podcast. We appreciate y'all for checking in. We call it an OG classic because we get in and we get out. Hit them with a Paulie.
Hell to the W, baby. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.